So this here is an area called Larimer Square. And even though most of the restaurants and bars and stuff that are here are too expensive for me, I always love coming down here at night and seeing these lights. So obviously right now this is more of a fall theme, but they sometimes will have more Christmas things and stuff like that. So, and it's really pretty that they have all this greenery and stuff out here. They actually have the street blocked off, and normally it is not. So this is really nice that they've made this completely pedestrian friendly. This is something really classic for downtown Denver. This is right outside this glass building on the right is our convention center. And it's so cute to see this big blue bear peering inside. Everybody loves him and takes all kinds of pictures and stuff. So just wanted to show our big blue bear. This is our Union Station, as you can read. That building there actually used to just be for long distance trains. And then all of this down here is what they've built up for our local trains just here in Denver. And they've done a really good job with making this a really beautiful area with all of this architecture. And actually in that building there that you see is actually really cool even if you're not catching a train. They have bars and restaurants and games and stuff inside. A friend and I went there and we just hung out for a couple of hours, had some coffee, played some games, and it's actually really cool there. This right here is our Capitol building, and I thought I would catch the lights before they went off. Sometimes they have this really lit up, really pretty, but yeah, the sun came up too fast for me. But you can do tours inside. A friend and I did that. You don't have to book anything. I think we were able just to walk in, kind of walk around and, explore as we wanted. Just on the other side of the Capitol building over here, you can see my car there, is this right here. And I know that I'm always showing libraries. I love libraries. This is actually one of the biggest ones that I've been in though for all of my travels. And I wanted to just show this real quick. But there's actually this, and then backed up on the other side of it is a art complex. So I'm actually going to walk over there and show that to you as well. This is the back part of the library, and right over here starts the Denver Art Museum. It's too tall. And I'm not a huge art person, but I love a good building that has cool architecture and just something different. I've been inside maybe twice for different exhibits and stuff they have, and it's really not bad. I shouldn't say it like that. There are people who love art, and I don't want to offend them, but I'm not an art person, and I still really enjoyed it. It was cool, and I think it's like the first Saturday of the month is actually free. So if you're ever here on a Saturday, it is busy, I will say that, but it's also worth checking out if you're an artsy person. Just beside the art museum here is actually a really fascinating museum. It's called the CEL, the Counterterrorism Education Learning Lab. And I've actually gone in there one time. A friend and I were curious of like what the deal was. And even though you think counterterrorism museum, like that has to be terrible, it's actually really fascinating. They kind of talk a little bit about it, but also ways that you can prevent it. You see someone looks a little shady and they leave a backpack somewhere and just walk away. That you could go and tell someone, they can look into it, and you might have saved the day. Right behind me here is the Brown Palace Hotel, and I always love these kind of corner buildings. I'm not sure what style of architecture that is that kind of comes to a point like this, but I know that I think it's a Flatiron building in New York City that's in this style, and then there's also one in Copenhagen I saw that was really cool, and they just always stand out to me for being something different and unique. This building was built in 1892, and they have I think a tavern, a few cafes and bars and things like that in the Brown Palace. And I know that you can also do high tea if you are feeling up to it. And for the very, very low cost, you can stay in the Brown Palace for $200 a night. So if you are feeling luxurious, this is the place to come. While I typically won't be showing too many bookstores, this building right here actually has a unique history. It's called the Tattered Cover on 16th Street Mall. And if you look up, there is this random door up here. And I read the history, and basically back in the 1800s, this was the level that they had streetcars and things like that. And they had too many accidents of people walking into them, especially when they were drunk. And they were just trying to find a way to keep people alive. So they built this viaduct system that went above the lower part of the city so that pedestrians would have a safer place to walk. And now this is one of the few doors that's left kind of showing that history. So if you're here on the 16th Street Mall, kind of look up a little bit and see a little bit of the history here. So this is the 16th Street Mall, and they call it a mall just because there's tons of shopping and things to do, but it's all outdoors. And this bus that's coming up is actually free. It goes from one end of downtown to the other, and it's just a great way to get around. You just jump on and jump off. So let me grab it real quick. I don't exactly know what the story is behind the cows here, but they have them every so often. They used to have pianos that people could actually play, but I haven't seen them. But they have these every few blocks here on the 16th Street Mall, and people come down and take pictures with them, and obviously me, take a video of them. But yeah, they're just something unique here for the 16th Street Mall. Now this is a great idea. In the middle of 16th Street Mall, you can get a massage in this little area. It looks like you can do for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes. Not a bad idea. These are really great right here. They're just checker or chess boards. This is a great place just to come down, especially since it's in the shade in the summer, and you can play some chess or checkers. If you've had too much to drink, this place, Illegal Pete's, is the best place to come. They have huge burritos, and you'll feel much better in the morning if you've had an Illegal Pete's. This place right here is called the Rio Grande. So it's 2 stories, has outdoor patio. And the funny thing about it, their margaritas are so strong. The food's okay, but everybody goes for the margaritas. But I want to say you can only have 3, regardless of how great of a drinker you are, how big you are, anything. They cut you off at 3. They're that strong. So if you're ever curious to test it out, Rio Grande is your place. I am now down at Market and 14th Street, and I kind of wanted to just show you or tell you a little bit about Market Street because it's kind of a unique story. So when the gold rush happened and people were coming from the east part of the U.S. to the west coast looking for gold and a better life, more land, Denver became one of the stops they had, and the stop here in Denver was on 16th and Market. I did a walking tour, and they were talking about how the products, as far as like food or a hotel room or anything you could find, done at 14th was not quite as good, a little bit lower class. You might be sleeping one bed in a big room full of other people. But if you actually went up towards 18th and 19th, You'd probably have your own room. The food was a lot better and a lot more high quality. So if you're ever here on Market Street, just know it's a historical street and well worth exploring. So this red building you see behind me is called BD's Mongolian Barbecue Grill. And if I can give one really great or unique experience for here in Denver for food, this is one of my favorite places. They give you a bowl and you only pay by bowl. And then basically you go to the bar and fill up with veggies and meats, rice, noodles, whatever you want. And then you take it to a guy who cooks it right there in front of you and you eat it. And it is delicious. So if you are ever down here, this is right off of 16th Street Mall. BD's Mongolian Barbecue Grill is a great place to go. I am now down in an area called RiNo, the RiNo District, which stands for River North. And it is just a little bit north of downtown. In the past, it definitely was not a great part of town by any means. And now they've really turned it around to where it's tons of microbrews and really just a cool place to come. So one of the things that I wanted to see, I actually just found out about it, it's called the Crush Walls. And every September they have a competition where graffiti artists can come and they paint the walls white or clean them off. And then they get to do this competition each year. And as I was driving by to park, I actually saw one of them that I had to start with. And it says, "Denver, love this city." And that is very much true. I still think this is the absolute best part of the virus and everybody being all terrified of being too close to each other. It's just all this outdoor everything. They have blocked off streets and everything is outdoors and they made this really cool ambiance. So I like this side, definitely. This is actually the longest commercial street in all of the US, is this Colfax Avenue. So if you're ever curious to experience it, it's here in Denver, Colorado. There's an area that I wanted to show you that is just west of downtown. It's an area called the Highlands, and it's become pretty popular within the last 7 to 10 years or so. And it's known for having lots of cute bars, restaurants, and just kind of cool architecture, little outside structures. And so I want to take you on a little walking tour and just kind of show you the Highlands. This is an REI building. For those of you that don't know, you can obviously read up there, climbing, camping, pretty much anything you can think in the outdoors. This is a really amazing place to buy things. I have a hard time not spending money in this store, But this is actually one of their flagship stores. I think they said they have 148 in the US. And as you see it, it is just absolutely massive. I wanted to introduce you to a place that I actually didn't really explore much, probably even into 6-7 years of living in Denver. And I never really came to this area. And then I started exploring it. I was like, why have I never been here? Why aren't people talking about this more? So it's kind of a little bit of a hidden gem. But it's in an area on a street called Tennyson. And around 44th, I would say, is kind of the northern end, and then you kind of go south a few blocks. And there's just a bunch of cute little restaurants and bookshops. There's a cat cafe where you can go and hang out with cats and drink your coffee at the same time. And just some like really unique things they don't really have anywhere else in Denver. So let's go check it out and kind of show you what this little hidden gem's all about. This is a place, as you can see, it's called Book Bar. And it's actually really cool because in addition to books, they actually have a place you can stay up there with Airbnb. I think it was built in like 1896 or something, so it has really cool charm. But I thought that'd be so great to stay above a bookstore.